Hi everyone, welcome to the Live Right Show. I am your host Lucky, and today we're looking at when to talk to your children about sexual matters. With me is Dr. Vincent Karuhanga of Friends Polyclinic, Uganda House, looking good in a black suit.
Thank you.
Since you said no one tells you that you're looking good, I'm going to tell you you're looking good every day.
Oh,
because you make an effort, yeah?
Thank you.
And of course, we do have Dora Nasamba. Thank you so much for coming back. Production manager for Beat.
Yes, please.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, doctor, we go straight to our topic. When should one start having conversations about sexual matters, especially when it comes to children?
You see, it's not just about sexual matters. A parent should try as much as possible to be close to his child. Now, once you are close to your child, then whatever you talk to that child will be happy to follow what you are saying. And you know, since we have a lot of media, we find that our children know a lot. And when they start asking, please don't shun them, because today is not a day. These are not days of the Sengas, because Sengas used to do a very good job, but now some Sengas drink alcohol, some Sengas are smoking, and then they are going to talk to the children about not smoking, and not drinking. Some of them are moving up and down with men, and how will
the children are actually seeing
that, and that's why
take what you say.
And that's why even the parents should be should actually be a good example.
Would you believe the same, Dora?
Yeah, especially on the point of being friends and talking to your child at any time. But when you asked about when, sexual matters are a lifestyle. There's no specific age where we would say, I would start at this age. Because the questions start at 3. She comes and says, Mommy, where do children come from? Now, that is talking about children, but indirectly bringing in the sex aspect. And the parents should make sure that they do not lie. At least
because what did my mom tell me when I was young? Did I ask that question? She must have told me, oh, she said that they got them from the shop.
My mother is a nurse, but she told me children are bought from the hospital. She's a nurse, she should have told me. You know, these days, like Doctor said, the media is big. Children get information from anywhere.
They're exposed.
So she will come to you when she knows something and you start lying. Never lie. You could at least hold information which you think is too big for her or him, but don't lie about it.
Don't lie to them.
Children come from the stomach of mommy. But now she will say,
how did they get there?
And by the way, like you have said, content is very, very important. And you should not all of a sudden start talking about huge things. You should start the baby, the child when it's young. Let me say 3-4 years. 3-4 years, you tell the kid, this is your private part. This is called this. This is called that. Your sister is different. Yeah?
Your brother is different from you.
Yes, people are different. Now, don't talk about sexual matters then, but then tell them about the private parts
that they have,
so that they don't wonder why the other one is
like this
and the other one is
and
different.
I also think children grow in a different way. When my son was starting to talk, I think he started at a different time that my daughters have started. And the way they ask questions is also different. Some kids are actually very quiet, they don't ask you, or those ones you handle differently. I think parents also need to understand that it's important to know your child. As they're young, they're different. So how you give them information should also differ. Just because I talk to my daughter Nadia in a certain way, it's not the same I'm going to talk to my son.
Exactly.
Because they are both different people and they take information differently. So I think when and how should also depend on what your child is. They're also different.
And by the way, it's very, very important to do it as a family. Don't sit down and talk to your son alone or talk to your daughter alone. Well, you can talk to your daughter alone, but don't talk to your son alone. It's very, very important that because kids, like boys, look at their fathers, and those father figures are very, very important. Don't start by telling the son, your father has come back late. Your father is this. If you do
He's a
this,
drunk.
your father will beat you. Now the kid starts fearing the father, so that even when you go to talk to the kid, then the kid
It's already
will be withdrawn.
You know how much exposure there is on TV. A lot of content is there, and sometimes you're watching something, and then all of a sudden you're seeing these two people kiss, and your children are there. And I remember very well. This is what my mom used to do. We are watching a movie. It is a PG movie. There's not a lot of kissing. Then all of a sudden this couple comes. She would fidget to the remote, get it, and try to change channels instead of just trying to explain to us what it is and guiding
in the
us.
Old days.
So we would be curious. You would actually make sure maybe we find the movie and watch it all over again. Yeah. Why was she doing that? So I think it's very important to explain things other than shunning.
But still, even if you can explain, don't let your kids watch movies which there is parental guidance. No, you shouldn't. Make sure that if it is 13, they tell the kids, please don't be around.
You cannot control
because you can't control that, doctor.
No, you have
let me tell you something.
Even
when you're watching Nickelodeon, because I watch it with my son, who is only 9 years, there's going to be these little kids. But these days they also kiss. Oh my God, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend. Like they know this, and in school they actually talk about those things. So as a parent, you can try to ignore that that's what is happening. Explaining, I think, is much better.
It is
than
much
actually
better.
hiding.
They
already know.
So you want your kids to watch movies meant for 19 years?
Movies that are meant. There's a difference between porn and movies that are having two kids probably pecking. It's uncomfortable for a parent to high school movies for a parent to have to be able to watch that with your kids. But you can explain to them they actually know that kid is kissing. Go to these international schools, you'll be amazed. The kids told my son, I had gone to his school and said, "Oh my God, your mom is hot."
Yeah, and kissing itself.
I was like, okay, like you see, the language they're even using, hot. Really?
Yeah, hot. Kissing, you are talking about kissing. Let kissing be not be too, demystify the kissing. Let it come down to a little peck. Kiss your baby, those pecks. Make the kissing be like, it's okay.
It's okay. But once you start to run away from it.
But talk about the issues
are you going to kiss your husband in presence of a child because you want the child to know that?
No, I can peck my husband at the present. There's a difference. If I'm greeting him or hug, I think it's very important for them again to see the affection that we feel for each other. They learn to treat their women or the men. I mean, you're grooming these children to become someone. If they see the kind of relationship I have with their father, if he comes back home, I welcome him with a hug. I do that, and all the kids follow. Hey, welcome back, welcome back. It's showing affection is done. Smooching, you shouldn't do that in front of the kids. No. That is, take it to the bedroom. But simple touches of affection, I think the children should be able to see that and learn that it's okay for people to love themselves like that. Yeah. Then you won't have a boy loving a boy.
And in fact,
they will know that a girl is mommy's for daddy.
Our biggest problem is that many of you ladies go to work. And we leave kids with the house girls and house boys, and what they do, you cannot imagine. And these kids are watching. They know. So it is very, very important, therefore, to have these kids taught about certain things, about certain issues.
So
before they see them,
they are not sure. Thank you so much, Doctor. Let's go for a break. When we get back, of course, we still have more on how to talk to your children and when to talk to your children about sexual matters. Now, you can go on our Facebook page, The Live Right TV Show. Again, like our page and get to share your opinion. Welcome back. You're still watching The Live Right Show. Live Right Show, by the way, airs every Saturdays at 8:30, and the repeats are on Tuesdays. You can also like our page, The Live Right TV Show. Like it and get to share your opinion. Now, we're still looking at how to talk to your children about sexual matters. I still have Dr. Vincent Karuhanga, Friends Polyclinic, and of course Dora of Beat FM. And we were just in the heat of it trying to explain. Of course, Doctor saying that most mothers today do not have enough time to spend with their children. They leave them with the maids. And the maids have boyfriend. These people, eh?
And
You
you
live
know,
with,
the maids can even do things with our children.
With the
Because we are not there to control. But the best way to do it is to make your child trust you in the beginning. That is something Doctor talked about in the very beginning. You have to make your child trust you. Let them know that their roles, the role of a house girl, the role of you, a child, my daughter, my son, you know, so that we know, my daughter can tell me, the Shamba boy touched me. So that my son can tell me, that lady, that girl, we usually call them Baba. Baba told me this. Because if you don't bring that relationship between you and your son or daughter, then they're not going to tell you. Also, you, the parent, are supposed to behave in a certain way that your children look at you as their role model. They know my mother, she behaves like this. Sexually, the word sexually may not come, but they know my mother dresses like this.
And then I think it's also very important. It is not what you do or who you are, but what you do in front of your children.
Exactly.
If you know you have a lifestyle that will influence them negatively, I think it's very important to keep it away from your home.
The children,
yes. If you have just recently divorced or separated from your partner, you don't, if you're dating someone, because you're only human, we can't tell you on the show, don't date because you're separated. Make sure that if you're not sure about the men that you're dating, that they're going to be in their lives, do not introduce 10 men in their lives. If you're dating them, do it outside of your home. They should know that our mother separated from our dad, and that's it. If you've got someone and you know you're going to commit to them, then you can start introducing that gradually. Don't just
and those kids see a lot, by the way. Once a kid goes to the height of the keyhole, they always keep peeping what is happening. That's why an 8-year-old was found by the dad in an exhaust pipe of his car, and he was putting a stick there. Then he asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to make a small car for myself." Because Daddy, you refused to buy me a car, a toy car to play with.
Okay,
you see,
so
and what happened? Most likely, he must have seen some people doing certain things and then said, "We are trying to make children." So the child gets confused and said, "Well, I can also make a toy car for myself."
And then there's also this issue of saying, why should I talk to my children about sexual matters when they are teachers?
Okay.
You know, like giving it to the teachers. Every responsibility is supposed to be something that we can work on together. Raising a child involves the society, it involves the parent, the teachers, everyone. If you leave the society to take care of your children or the teachers to take care of your children, when you're not playing your part because you're busy making money,
that's very irresponsible.
It's a very
actually,
big
even leaving the children with sengas only.
It's not right.
Who knows if that senga knows what they are telling my child? What if they give them ubutwa? We usually call it poison. I'm supposed to be knowledgeable about sexual life and give it to my child. It's the most important thing in life because it's going to shape their future. Why would I leave it to the teacher to do?
You know, sex education in schools starts around P4, P5, P6, depending upon the school. And these kids should actually learn from their parents before they are taught by the school. Because you are the role models, it is very, very important that they know from you so that by the time they reach school, they will not find things very strange and want to try them out.
They will just know.
Yes.
And you know, every time that you try to tell them don't do that, you know, it's very funny. The kids, whenever you tell them something that don't do that, they'll actually do that same thing.
Exactly.
You need to explain to them to why they shouldn't be doing that. Don't just stop on don't do that. Because if you're telling me don't kiss this person, why shouldn't I? Because you need to explain things and make them understand and talk to these little children as mature people. They understand things.
They understand.
And I think we should also bring back the role of sengas. Because the sengas...
The role of sengas is still debatable, people.
Well...
Because the senga does not like me. You're my brother. Rather, you're my husband, but your sister will not like me.
Will not like her.
So they will not talk well about me. Or they cannot even talk about my children.
Still, I think, especially for the girl child, she still requires a senga.
One of the parents can do that. I remember our father spoke to us about HIV. He called us, I think, from 14 years, 13, we were in a group, my brothers and sisters, and he started explaining,
about
HIV.
15 of you.
No, we were actually many. We certainly explained things. And I've never forgotten that. Nobody got pregnant during school because we understood, regardless. And parents thinking that, oh my God, my child is so young. They can never do that.
And the father figure talking to the daughters about sex and telling them not to do that.
Absolutely. So for us who were like,
but it is good.
He did that. He was very exposed. My mom is shy, so he's like, I'm taking up his role, and it was heads on. And I think some parents should do that. You know your weakness. If you're the talker in the family and your kids are more close to you, then you can talk to them about certain things and they'll definitely understand. You're watching the Live Right show. I am telling you the topic is on fire. How do you get to talk to your children about sexual matters? If you want to participate, please, you can always join our Facebook page, the Live Right TV show. Like it and get to share your opinion. We go for a break, find out what you think on the street.
Omwana okumuteekamu amagezi agagonga gwe omuzadde ge wandiyagadde okumuteekamu kisinziira kikyoba ogenda bulamu ki bw'oba oyagala omwana oyo atambulireko na myaka emeka nawe bibeera nga bya kintu kikulu nga okwegatta era ndowooza myaka nga 15 bwe bityo.
Around 12 years old. I don't think there's like a specific time. Whenever you feel like you want to, I think there's supposed. But I think all the time, not just at one, like when you're 12 or like when you're at a certain age or something. But maybe when you started secondary school, I think, or when you mention a boyfriend to your parents or a girlfriend. Yeah, I don't think anyone mentions that, but just in case they do, I think that's when you're supposed to talk to them.
When they clock the adolescent stage.
No, they did not. I don't think they would, because I have a feeling it is so hard for them to do that.
Maybe indirectly, but they don't tell you, I don't do sex. No, they at least advise you, don't do this. I tell you, you have to avoid bad friends, moving out in groups, moving out at night, because when you move out at night, sometimes you get tempted, you see. So they at least advise you indirectly, but they can't tell you straight that don't have sex.
Yeah, my mom did. She actually still does. Like if she's watching TV and there's like a show where they're talking about sex, she'll be like, oh, go to NBS now. They're talking about sex and go and watch. Yeah, she's like that. She does it all the time.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Live Right show. I am your host, Lucky. Please remember to like our Facebook page, the Live Right TV show. I still have Dr. Vincent Karuhanga, Friends Polyclinic, and of course, Dora. We are still looking at how you can talk to your children about sexual matters. And I think, Dora, you were explaining to us that sometimes you cannot, in fact, give the whole thing to singers, because if she's your husband's sister,
and you are his sister,
she's likely
there are
not
issues
to.
usually, not all the time. I'm not saying
make sure
they're there all the time.
make sure the issues are not there.
Because even the singer that
Doctor.
I'm talking about, doctor, may actually not know what to tell my child or even to handle my child. Different people react differently.
Okay.
My personality is different from Lucky's. The way she's going to handle me is not the same way my mother will or my father. I'll even trust my father more. I'm not saying the singers should be completely out. I'm saying that they should also play their role as the mother or the father, are playing our roles. Because if we don't, we are leaving that very important part of my daughter or my son to somebody else.
And the thing is,
yes,
you know
because you know what you want out of your child.
Exactly.
And it should be you to actually talk to your child. But there are circumstances where people may be very shy about these matters. Not everybody knows even exactly what to talk to their child. And when it happens like that, a counselor can also come in. He may be a religious counselor. He may be the other professional counselors who can come in. And those are also very, very important people.
And then also, I think it's important to have friends who have children, because if I have you for a friend, your kids are likely to be more open to me
than to me,
than to you.
Yeah.
So what I do, I can send you to my children, and you can send me to.
We exchange roles.
You learn to exchange.
Yeah.
It's very important to have in a circle of your friends, have friends who actually have children, so that you're like her, because and you see how you can talk to her since she's closer to you.
Exactly.
So I think
and we should not talk to children only on suspicion. that now my child might be doing this. Many teens are actually playing sex. So
They are.
because of this, by
Heartbreaking.
the time a girl reaches 19, she has had 2 or 3 affairs, and some even 4. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. And this is why some countries have started giving contraceptives
to 19-year-olds.
yes,
I think they do it in the
to
States.
teenagers. Yeah, because they have found out that eventually these kids will end up with complications requiring abortions, and of course complications
HIV,
complications
sexually transmitted diseases.
of abortions, you know them, then like those sexually transmitted diseases and other things, and then their life is ruined just because one cannot talk to these kids. So when a kid reaches teenage, talk to her about sexual matters. First of all, if it's a girl, around 8 years, you have to call the girl and talk to her about periods and what periods mean. Yeah? What she's likely to experience
And, you know.
pains and so on and so forth, and the fact that after that she can get pregnant. Even a 9-year-old, 10-year-old who is having periods can actually get pregnant.
And then also there's again, show if you have a daughter or a son, it's very important to again tell them that a woman is supposed to be with a woman. You're supposed to be with a boyfriend. If you're a woman, it's a boyfriend. Because you're going to send them to schools when they do not know. And that is why you'll have issues of your girl coming up
Of
one day and telling
homosexuality?
you, here's my boyfriend and she's a girl. You're like, huh?
And now that is why you die.
And then there's a lot of expose on TV, so parents can say, or some can argue that it's genetic and that, but these are things that they pick up because they do not know. When she goes to maybe a single school, something will happen, she'll be touched by a girl, and she'll think it's normal. So I think it's very important for parents to give children information that will help them. A girl is with a guy and a guy is with a girl. It's
And
simple
you're
as
even
that.
saying it out
But
properly.
that said, the kid should not start. You should not tell the kid to start associating, because we never know when they associate. Sometimes we say our kids are very good. My son is good. My girl is good, because you are a parent. You don't know what happens.
What they do.
Yes.
When you're there.
You don't know. And when you see them girls moving with fellow girls, for you, you'll think, aha, that is very good. This girl is not going to be impregnated. And yet she has boyfriends. These girls are taking them to boyfriends. And sometimes they are moving together just because they are actually lesbians.
Exactly. So
Yes,
I
you
think
see?
also that brings the issue of knowing your children's friends. Very, even at the early age, if my daughter comes up to me and tells me Maria is my friend, usually I go to school, I'm like, I'd love to see Maria and meet her parents, something like that. So I get to know who my child is associating with. If there's any sort of problem, I know Maria's parents, and I know it's very important to know who your children is hanging out with. Get to know her friends. Be friends with her friends.
And it's also important to know.
That's why you see the Bazungus have sleepovers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you understand them.
No,
It's also important for that.
You have to be very careful about sleepovers with our kids. If you try to find out, you'll find that many of our kids are actually committing incest. Yeah, it's true. They are committing incest because you find we have you have your sister's kids. You have your sister's kids staying in the same house. Your brother's kids, and they don't know. And once you don't talk to them, what happens?
They are starting. I think it's.
And you have to tell them together. You said, yeah, this one is your
brother,
cousin.
your
This one is this.
cousin,
And because of that, you bring your child
And
aside
then the
and
issue
say,
should be instilling all values. If that person knows I'm not supposed to do this, if they grow up seeing you do things a certain way, I think they're going to say no to certain things simply because you have instilled it in them. They know that this is bad, this is good. Even if they are surrounded with bad, they're going to come out okay.
Yeah. But and also parents should tell their children the proper thing. Don't say, don't sleep with a boy. Because
Why
if they do it standing, then they will not be sleeping, and then they come pregnant, and then they say, we never slept together.
Okay, so as we conclude, Doctor, very fast, we're running out of time.
It's very, very important that we make our children our friends, and we should not allow, let me say, children to hate their fathers or the children to hate their mothers, so that we actually bring them up together. Together. And when a kid reaches 3-4 years, tell that kid what a private part is and why this kid they are different from others. Okay. When a kid reaches 8 years and is a girl, you know that one very soon is going to have periods. Start teaching that kid what periods are and what is likely to happen if she has sisters playing sex.
As we conclude.
Then let me end. Then when a kid becomes a teenager, then you tell that teenager what sex is all about, the dangers, and so on and so forth, so that she's able,
well prepared,
to protect herself.
Yes, Doris,
in conclusion, it is all about you preparing your child for the future. Please don't leave your child to go and get half-baked or wrong information from somewhere else. Talk about it and be friends, perfect friends with your child.
Thank you so much, Dora, for finding some time. I'm hoping that you come back next time. We always have so much fun. And of course, Dr. Vincent Karuhanga, Friends Polyclinic. Well, that's all that we had for you on the Live Right show. Like Dora said, please remember to be friends with your children. That's the only way that they will take whatever information you give them. May God bless you. Bye.